Yes, it's Paul again from MK Scholars. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing great. And of course, welcome again to our YouTube channel, MK Scholars English. We are back again with another full scholarship opportunity. And I'm telling you guys, this is one of kind. You don't want to miss this out. And if you have a friend, you make sure you tell them about this, because this only comes once a year. Okay, I'm talking about living allowance of 12k US dollar per year. You know how much that is? So that is why you don't want to miss this out. So that is what we're going to talk about in this video. And I'm walking you through how to get the application link, how to apply for this full scholarship opportunity from the first step to the last step. I'm talking about the required documents. I'm talking about telling you who is eligible and who is not eligible. And of course, the required documents that you have to collect before you start applying for this opportunity. Okay? And if you're an international student, if you know anyone who is looking for full scholarship to pursue his or her studies, you make sure you tell them about this YouTube channel, because this is one of the YouTube channels that are going to be finding so many opportunities about the I'm talking about the scholarships, I'm talking about the job opportunities, I'm talking about the internship. All those, you're going to be finding all of them on this YouTube channel. Okay, so but before I dive in, if you have not yet subscribed, do make sure you subscribe for more upcoming opportunities. And of course, guys, if you have a question, if you have if you have an idea, if you have an opportunity that you'd like us to talk about in our next video, please write it in the comment, drop it in the comment, and that is what we're going to talk about in our next videos. Okay, and you remember to follow us on other social medias. I'm talking about Instagram, I'm talking about Twitter, I'm talking about Facebook page, and others. And then if you want to contact us, you can WhatsApp us on 079 86 11161. You can you can say here. Okay, so starting off, as I was telling you, this is a full scholarship in South Korea, and as I told you, this is one of kind. You know why? Because each and everything is gonna be covered. I'm talking then this takes us to the scholarship benefits. As I said, full tuition fees, each and everything is going to be covered. I'm talking about the living allowance. As I said, we are talking about 12k, almost 12k US dollars per year. So you can try to convert it in a month. Okay, and then medical insurance is going to be covered. I'm talking about the flight ticket is also going to be covered, from your home country to South Korea. And one more thing is that all African countries are eligible for this full scholarship. So if you come from Rwanda, if you come from Burundi, if you're from Tanzania, any country that you come from, you make sure this opportunity does not, take you from your fingers. Okay, and of course, taking us to the eligibility criteria, as I was saying, all African countries are eligible for this full scholarship, and of course, this is the scholarship for those who are going to be pursuing their master's degree. Of course, you gotta have a bachelor's degree, but also, even if you don't have a bachelor's degree, but then you are planning to graduate maybe in July this year, you're also eligible for this full scholarship. Okay, this means that you don't have to you don't have to have like a bachelor's degree right now. No. Even if you're in the last year of pursuing your bachelor's degree, and then you will get like your bachelor's degree in July this year, you are also eligible for this full school. You make sure you apply for this opportunity. And of course, you gotta have a minimum GPA of 80% or 2.64 over 4, or maybe, coming in the top 20 of your graduating class. Okay, and of course, you gotta be under 40 years old. Okay, so you can see, who is not eligible? All of you guys are eligible. Okay, and then talking about the required documents, of course, you gotta fill out the form. But what I want to focus on is about the application procedures, how you're going to apply for this opportunity from the first step to the last step. I'm talking about 2 ways of applying, because there are 2 methods of applying, and then you make sure you choose one of them. And I'm going to show you the better one that you have to choose, so that you can stand a more chance of winning this full scholarship. Okay, of course, you gotta have a personal statement. We are talking about the essays. I'm talking about the research proposals. You guys are familiar with this because you have already graduated from you already have your bachelor's degree, so now you're going to be applying for your master's. You are familiar for research proposal. If you have a question about this, please contact our number. As I said, as I mentioned it earlier, 079 86 11161. Okay. And of course, if you need assistance with writing these essays, I'm talking about the personal statement, I'm talking about even the recommendation letters, because also recommendation letters are required. And of course, as an applicant who are going to apply for any opportunity, you've got to have a recommendation letter, maybe from your academic. I'm talking about your lecturers from university. Even if you, Also, if you did work, if you have work right now, if you're working, you gotta have recommendation letter from your employer. I mean, you can choose if you can get your recommendation letter from your lecturers from university, or if you can get it from your employers. Okay, and of course, you also, if you also need assistance with writing orders, letters, I'm talking about recommendation letters, you can also contact our team. Okay, we are talking about the proof of citizenship. We are talking about either your ID, that is also your passport. Okay, and then talking about the about the language proficiency certificate. Of course, you gotta have, because you'll be passing your studies in English. Of course, you gotta have maybe IELTS, TOEFL, or you can have other document that you can get from your previous university or school, telling that you are the language of medium, language of instruction was English. So if you have that, you'll be prompted for more getting all those tests. Okay, so you make sure you get that document from the previous school. It is called Tuemitime Concern, and it states that the language of medium, the language of instruction was English, and then you'll be exempted from submitting all those documents. And then talking about the application procedures, as I was saying, there are two ways of applying. There is embassy track, there is also university track, and then you want to go for the embassy track because this is the one. This is one of the best, because you don't want to go for this one, because for the university track, trying to rush for the university track, you can only apply to one university, okay? But then for the embassy track, you can apply to up to 3 universities. That means that we have, you stand a more chance of getting full scholarship, because we'll be targeting 3 universities. But then for the university track, you will only be targeting 1 university. So that means that you have to go for the embassy track. And as I said before, as I mentioned before, if you need assistance with writing the required documents, assisting in the application process, our team is always available, MK Scholars, and then you can contact us on the number that I gave you earlier. Okay, and then mentioning the application procedures, as I told you, you can go for the embassy track because this is the better one. And of course, the selection will take place in 3 stages. The first one, of course, first round is selection by the embassy or the university. It will depend on the one that you have. On the method that you would have. You have chosen where you're applying. Because as I told you, if you go for the embassy track, that means that for the first round you will hear from the embassy from your country. And then if you go for the embassy for the university track, that means that you hear from the university. But all of you guys, I want you guys to go for the embassy track because this is the better one, the better choice. Okay. And then for the second, of course, for the second round selection, you'll be hearing from NIEDA. NIEDA is kind of like, for the Rwandan applicants, it's kind of like HEC. Okay. So that is the one that is responsible for for opening this scholarship. And of course, for the last but not the least, of course, you'll be hearing from the university. But what you need to do right now, you just have to collect your documents, as I said. Like, I'm talking about the academic transcript, I'm talking about Tuemitime Concern from university, I'm talking about the certificates that you have, I'm talking about the degree, diploma. Okay, that is all that you have to collect right now. And then you choose this one for the embassy track. And then doing this, of course, you'll be having 3 choices of applying to universities. And then once you go for the embassy track, now things becomes easy. And of course, the deadline is going to be 25th of February. That means that we have 15 days, only 15 days to go, guys. That means that we have to apply as early as possible. Okay. And talking about the deadline for those who will be going for the university, but I don't want you guys to go for the university track. Of course, the deadline depends on the university that you choose. And then, of course, to be able to apply, you have to click open application link. When you click here, now you are going for the embassy track. Okay, because there are two methods, as I told you. You can go for the embassy track or you can go for the university track. But I recommend all of you guys to go for the embassy track. And that is the link that I gave you, and then you start your application. You sign up and then you start your application. But of course, one more thing that I have to mention is about the universities of guys. As I told you, scholarship benefits, each and everything is going to be covered. You can see, you can come and read this, as I told you. And talking about the universities, when you go for the embassy track, guys, you make sure you apply to 3 universities. And of course, you make sure in those 3 universities, we included the one in type B, because the universities in South Korea, of course, they are categorized in 2 categories. We are talking about type A universities. You can see all of them here, and also there is other ones that are categorized in type B. You can also come and with them here, because I already gave you this document. And of course, if you're going to go for the embassy track and then you apply to 3 universities, of course, you make sure in your 3 universities you included the one sorry, you include the one in the typo B. That is what I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you. And if you have a question, please, you can contact our team. And talking about, there are around 3,000 scholarships all over the world. So among the 3,000 applicants who will be selected, you make sure you are one of them. Because in Rwanda, you can see, maybe in Lebanon, they will select one. In Libya, 3. You can see in Mongolia, they will select 13. In Rwanda, they will select 5. You make sure that you are among those who will be selected for this first scholarship. Because this is, as I told you before, this is one of kind. Blessings over blessings. This was Paul from MK Scholars, and I wish all of guys good luck with your application. And of course, we come back with another scholarship opportunity. Remember to subscribe, you share to your friends so that they can also be updated about these opportunities. Thank you very much.